hold that.
What do you mean H5 suited?
Oh, just hold, please.
No, not like this. Not like this.
King!
Good afternoon, ladies and gents. How you guys doing? Guys, it is time for the Thursday Takeover. I'm your host, KomodoDragonJesus. We're going to have some fun today. I am going to be playing some cash games on stream here. Going to try to showcase some of my skills. We have 7 $22 tickets to give away. It's going to be a good time. So I am going to just switch views over here. We're gonna load stuff up, and we've got a bit of variety here. Let me go to this view right here. I'm going to be joining the $50 snap pool right here. And in addition to this, I also have a game of very similar stakes, which is a $500 buy-in game. So we have the 50 and the 500. We're not going to go one step further. We're not going 5,000, but it should be fun. So let's do a little roll call. See who we got in chat. Lime, of course. How you doing, Lime? We got Natras. We got Super Zero Quantum Criminal. What's up, guys? Crazy Scotsman. Zubitis. Good to see you. Waynuian. Champagne. How you doing? Good to have you all here on this, lovely Thursday afternoon. And we start off by seeing a pair of kings holding against a pair of fours. Okay. So we're just going to post our blind here. Get a free flop. I mean, when we get a free flop like this, we're just betting. Guys, we got the king of clubs. It's a backdoor. Well, yeah, okay. We're going to keep going. He's maybe thinking about leading. Ideally, he's not thinking about leading, because like even thinking about leading is typically kind of like a sign of strength. We're gonna keep going, guys. We got the nut flush draw, and we take it down. Okay, so there is hand number 1. We've also got over here, I went ahead and raised a jack 9. We get called by a very short stack in the small blind. He's sitting on about 23 big blinds. The $113 stack there. What's up, Box Waxer? We got just, a middle pair type thing here. Going to start off with a check back. He goes for a double check. I am going to go for a bet here. Checking back twice is a perfectly reasonable thing. However, the double check from villain is usually pretty weak. I don't necessarily want to just give him a bunch of free cards. So we're gonna make him pay to see a river, and looks like this time he does not want to do that. And I'm perfectly okay with that. Zubitis with the 25 stream watch streak. Dude, that is dedication. Oh, and we have an all-in on this triple low connected board. The fact that I'm dry went big like this means he's probably going to snap call him. And yeah, it's 10s versus double overcards and a flush draw. One of the overcards gets there. So Doge over here. It's an interesting name. Gonna be doubling up. Jabby Madness, what's up, guys? How you doing, final table? So now occasionally when I do these, the Thursday Takeover streams, sometimes I play some lower stakes. We goof around a little bit. Might see, I don't know, we might see a little bit of goofing around at this, $50 table here. There will be no goofing around at the higher stakes, guys. $5 $500 is a lot of money for me. You know, some of you guys out there, I'm sure you're rich, you're retired, you know, spending your days watching Twitch. But for me, I like to hang on to my 500s. So we're going to start off with a raise here. We got a king 10. We got called twice so far. Naturally, as I say that, this guy's username here is Dad's Money. Oh, must be nice, dude. I can almost guarantee he is not playing on Dad's Money. So we're multi-way. We get this triple O connected board. This is a spot that is typically fairly good for button. It's fairly good for small blinds, fairly good for like big blinds if they defend as well. It's not good for the earlier position raisers. We have a bunch of high cards. We have like overpairs and stuff, but not all that much that connects with this board. So I'm going to have to get out of the way and let these two guys duke it out. Minucho went for the half pot on flop. Got called by the 7-6 offsuit. Okay, so this guy's playing a lot of hands. Love to see that. And the 7-6 off is just good. So the question is, what was Minucho betting on that flop into two players? And it was the pocket sixes. Half pot into two players with the pocket sixes is a bit... I don't know. I feel like that's a bit optimistic. But I mean, he does have a pair and a gut shot, so you know it's can't fault it too much. And now one thing you might notice a difference between this stream and the streams that I normally run. I don't have like any HUD or anything going right now, but the good news is I know some of these players fairly well. You know, I know who's tight, I know who's loose, I know who's aggressive, I know who's playing 7-6 offsuit in the small blind. Well, I know that one now. Okay, so we're going to fold here, but we're going to move over to our $50 table where we got Lubitel going for the raise. And we usually love to play this, but I'm going to go ahead and fold. We're moving over to our $500 table where we have kings. We go for the raise up against the under the gun limper here. But wait, guys, there's more. We also have kings on the secret third $500 table where we're raising it blind versus blind. Oh, this one's getting spicy. Okay, so here's the thing. We're getting squeezed a bit here by I'm Dry. He makes it 16. When he makes it 16, there's not that much room for for many non-all-in 4-bets, so I'm just gonna ship it. And maybe we get a $1,000 pot. All right, we got kings against it. That is a king on the flop. All right, guys, we got him drawing dead. That is a $1,000 pot coming our way. That's a nice way to start the stream. I'm sorry, did I say there was one set of kings? We got a second set of kings. I raise blind versus blind. We get this flop. Now, the 5 of clubs is like the literal worst thing we could get here because the only way he really improves against us on a board like this is either by hitting a straight or a flush, and that is a flush. I am going to keep betting, but I'm going to size way down. So the goal here is, you know, to keep his range as wide as possible. I want all his top pairs in. I want his like pair plus clubs to stay in. I want all his 2 pairs in. And we'll see what he does here. And he goes for the raise, and I mean, that's absolutely fine. I think shoving here is going to be the wrong play. We just run into a bunch of flushes, but calling is going to be perfectly good. Yeah. And offsuit 9 on the river, I overbet the flop. 8-6 is not really going to be a thing unless it's 8-6 of clubs. And if it's 8-6 of clubs, well, I mean, he had me on the turn. We're going to go check here. I'm going to assume that villain has, at least a few bluffs in his range. So if he goes for an all-in here, we have an easy call, but we acknowledge that flushes exist. If it goes check, check, we win every time, and that's exactly what happens. Moving over here, we have a short stack on the button. I'm just going to go ahead and ship King Queen again. So not quite as good as Kings, but it's a start. We get called by King Jack. That is a good flop. We need to dodge a 10. That's not a 10. All right. Okay, so winning some big pots all around. For anybody who's curious, over here where I had my pocket kings up against the possible flush, a villain ended up having a queen jack offsuit with a club. So he was basically bluffing with, we'll say semi-bluffing with a jack high flush draw and utilizing that jack of clubs blocker. And it's a fairly reasonable hand for him to get aggressive. Hey, get the money. Good to see you, man. Okay, so we're going to go for the fold with this 10 deuce. All right, which table are we looking at? Okay, so we got Muck going for a raise against I'm Dry. He takes it down. I'm Dry, the guy I won with my ace king, or my kings against his ace king. We're going to move over here. I got my own ace king. Hopefully, it doesn't go as bad as that guy's did. But we've got ourselves a king 10-8 board. And so just got to kind of remind myself we are playing 50 NL here, which means low has roughly 60 big blinds in front of him. We're going to keep going. I'm not going to do anything crazy with my sizes here. He's defending in the big blind. He called a small bet on the flop. It's fairly realistic for him to just have an 8, as well as the occasional slow play on flop. Now, I'll be going ahead and defending this. My little blue circle here typically means that someone is on the tight side. And, I mean, we're certainly not going to be doing any defending with the queen high there. Okay, guys, I am being told, I won a big pot. Let's celebrate. So I feel like this is an early one. What time is it? It's quarter after. Oh, geez, guys. So as I mentioned earlier, we have some $22 tickets to give away. We have 7 of them, in fact. I'm going to go ahead and initiate a giveaway for 2 of them. And since, oh boy, hold on. This is a rip. Since I stacked this lovely fellow, I'm Dry, a few minutes ago, the keyword for our giveaway is I'm dry. Now, guys, I feel like this is, I'm not saying anything about this hand. We're about to celebrate a win against this guy, and I just jam against him with pocket jacks. I'm incredibly nervous. Okay, it gets through. Oh, that could have been karma right there. So guys, type I'm dry, IMDRY, in the chat for your chance to win one of two $22 tickets. And of course, as always, you know, Lime has a pinned post at the top of chat. This is the nuts. That's always nice. Lime has a pinned post at the top of chat that shows, you know, various terms and conditions associated with this giveaway. So you guys make sure to give those a quick read if you're planning on participating. So we got a question from Doc Matouche here with the 3 kings on the board with the 3 clubs. Why not bet river? So Doc Matouche, typically whoever is the last player to make aggression, you typically allow them to keep the lead. It's not a rule per se, but you know, typically the guy doing the betting or the raising is the one that has you know, the more polar range, the potentially stronger stuff, you know, unless somebody's got a slow play in there. So he raised me on turn. I called, I checked to him, allow him to keep betting his flushes and or bluffs. And in this case, he just, you know, chose to give up on that bluff. And all right, so guys, we've probably had the giveaway going for like a minute or two now. I'm gonna go ahead and say, Lime Ricky, feel free to close it whenever you're ready. And good luck, everyone. We're just gonna start off with a small little 1/3 pot bet here. Up against Doge. This is kind of interesting. So I don't think I want to go for an insanely big bet on turn. But we're kind of in a spot where if I bet and get shoved on it, I don't know, it kind of sucks. I'm going to go ahead and check back my flush draw. And so there's nothing wrong with checking back a flush draw. We do get to, you know, realize our equity. We get a chance to hit an 8 or an ace or a heart here. It's not going to be happening this time. And facing a pot size bet, I'm just going to go ahead and ditch this one. Now this is a potentially interesting pot. I went ahead and 4-bet pre-flop with the ace queen offsuit. From these positions, that's fairly standard. And then we get this ace high board. We can start off with a quarter pot bet. I think we can also start off with a 10% pot bet, which is very, very annoying for my opponent here. And then we get this somewhat connected turn card. And I'm not a big fan of this. It brings out some 2 pairs. It brings out a straight. I'm going to go for the check here on turn. I'm not going to have a lot of this kind of mid-connected stuff in my range. I'm not 4-betting him with 8-7. I'm not 4-betting him with 10-9, but he is calling the 4-bet with that kind of stuff. Also a fairly nice spot to slow play if you got like some pocket aces or some pocket 10s. He goes for about 1/3 pot here, and I think we have a fairly easy continue via call. If I go raise, I mean, we're folding out bluffs, which is not actually that bad of a thing. You know, bluffs have a lot of equity. But we do pretty exclusively just get called by better hands. So I'm going to go for the call here on turn. And then we get this king on the river, which I don't think I want to have leads on. but I'm not 100% sure about that. Like, it's a spot where I can go check call on the turn, the same way I did with ace queen. We could do it with ace king as well. And that gives us 2 pairs sometimes. So villain went for the turn bet with the ace jack. I had him outkicked by 1. Check, check on turn, and yeah, cool, we win. This is actually a limped pot over here. I decided not to raise the 10-9. I mean, that might have not been the correct decision, but I was really trying to focus on the ace queen, so I just kind of like autopilot checked it. And so villain went for a half pot bet on flop, checks through on turn. I don't think my hand is worthy of a value bet, so I'm just going to go ahead and check this. If he bets it, I mean, I'm in a pretty rough spot. Oh, he's limping jacks. Okay, I mean, that is a nice piece of information about our friend here. We know he's quite loose, and now we see he is limping some strong hands, such as pocket jacks. Now, I don't know if he was planning on limp re-raising or if he was just going to call, but it's definitely a good piece of information to have. What am I doing here? I am making this 5. Which I think is actually too small. We're going to go ahead and c-bet this board for half pot. We got a couple overs. We got this ace of clubs, which is a pretty potent bluff card on certain runouts. The deuce is very unlikely to improve him, so we're just going to keep on going here. 15 on turn is quite nice. It is a size that absolutely wrecks all his draws, except for ace-high draws, which he can't have. And the bet takes it down. And all right, guys, looks like we have our winners coming in the chat here. Nightbot has chosen 2 lucky viewers. Congratulations to Bisazar93 and Art Ukraine. Congratulations, guys. You each have a $22 tournament ticket coming your way. We're blind versus blind facing a small bet. I'm going to peel with just king high and some backdoors. This turn card is pretty rough if he goes for another bet. Even a small one like this, it's enough to get king 4 to fold. And so, guys, that was our first of many giveaways today. We have 5 more tickets to give away throughout our stream. So if you didn't win this one, guys, there are plenty of more chances. What on earth is going on here? So we're in this little blind versus blind pot, and I checked to him a couple times. He overbets 2.5 times pot on the river. And you know what, guys, it's gonna work. I'm gonna fold my 4th pair. That's actually a really interesting spot because I think it highlights a big weakness that a lot of players have in their game, myself included. You get this board here. Let me throw this up here. You get this board right here. There's like 100 different straight draws. There's the double flush draw. It's a board that when you have something good, you want to be protecting it. So when I just go for the double check in the small blind, I mean, I have nothing most of the time, or I have something like weak and middle-ish. And while I do think his bet size was a little bit extreme with the 2.5 times pot, it is a situation where he just gets to apply a heck of a lot of pressure to me. And there's not much I can do about it unless I'm slow playing some stuff in that spot. Or unless I want to be a hero. So we might actually get a free flop here, provided 27 doesn't get a little aggressive here. Get the nice little crown. Thank you, 27. $27 GG, welcome to the stream, man. Right, so we get a free... we get a free flop, and I had offsuit 10 high, and I mean, what should have happened is my opponent bet there, and I folded, and he wins the pot. Instead, what happened is I checked to him, and he just threw his cards in the garbage, and I won the pot, which is, I'm going to say, an unexpected line. Most of the time, I'm very happy about that. You know, I have something weak, I have something middling. Even if I have something like above average, my opponent just, you know, chucks his cards out of turn. I get to win the pot. I'm thrilled about it. One memory I have that's like seared into my brain is that shortly after I don't recall if it was during the Stream On competition or if it was afterwards, where you know, I just joined the team, but there was one hand I remember playing where, we're gonna call this, if you got me, you got me. Oh, he definitely got me. No jack on the river, which means Alexide wins an $85 pot. Nice hand, Alexide. Yeah, so early in my 8-8 poker streaming career, I played a hand. It was like I flopped something good. I bet the flop. My opponent called. I turned the absolute nuts. My opponent just loses his mind and leads into me for a massive size on turn. You know, I'm here, you know, just counting my money before it hits my account. And then, so I call the turn. I figure, you know, he's doing his aggressive thing. Let him keep doing it. And then the river comes. The river's some sort of blank. I'm not thrilled about this call. This was a multi-way pot, but I'm gonna call. We got a pair. We got a backdoor nut flush draw. Actually, backdoor royal flush draw. You know, if we want to get really technical. So the river comes a blank. I still have the absolute nuts. I'm ready for my opponent to just go absolutely nuts into me, go all in, so I can snap him off. And then he just open folds out of position, and I'm just sitting there with the absolute nuts in my hand, just like, what the heck happened? Oh, we get a nice little chop here. King Jack against King Jack. Hey, what's up, Burba? What's up, Vlad? Good to see you guys. I'm going to go ahead and defend the 8 deuce here. That is not the board you want for 8 deuce. I'll say this is a little bit on the loose side, but I don't mind, you know, playing a little bit loose at the $50 game here. We're trying to, you know, see if we can get into some cool spots. We might be able to get in one with the pocket sevens. We've actually also got an ace and a king over here against Manucho. So this is a spot, I mean, you can do some betting, you can do some checking. Typically, the ace kings, like without spades, I'm going to do quite a bit of checking here. Hey, what's up, Ruinkind? He goes for the double check. I will take the double check, but I'm going to bring us over to another table where this guy's just potting into me on the flop. I have a pair plus flush draw. And I mean, I'm just going to raise the guy. You know, let's just like 3x, make this 13. He only has 30 bucks behind. You know, if he wants to go for it, let's go for it. And then here, so we checked through the turn. He bets small on the river. I think my hand is an auto call. There are some players who don't really use bluffs with this size. And like against them, I'm going to pay them off like just the slightest bit. But you can't go ahead and like fold things like ace king high in this spot. Otherwise, you're just folding way too much. All right, we are not playing the 9-3. I love showing crap hands, though. I love folding the 9-3 and then just showing it. I think the games would be a lot more fun if people showed a lot more cards. And it doesn't even have to be, you know, like an epic spot or anything. It's not like you go all in on the river and then you show the bluff. You know, it's just more fun. I feel like there's more connection between the players when, you know, I show a crappy hand here, somebody shows a draw, somebody shows a top pair. I'm going to go ahead and continuation bet a queen 9 on the jack deuce deuce here. And we get raised. What is this, a 4x raise on a paired board? Yeah, I think that's good enough to get queen 9 to fold. It actually is quite close because we do have the overcard there. We have a backdoor flush draw with the queen, backdoor straight draw, like around that jack, and the raise isn't that big. We can go ahead and throw in a button raise. Oh, that is absolutely wonderful. Okay, so we got FC20 going for the limp. I'm going to make it $2 here. We're looking for a 3-bet. There's actually like most of the players at this table are pretty short stacked. So we got a whole bunch of $20 stacks here. FC goes for the limp fold against the aces. Dude, not cool. It's fun to fold and show the 7-deuce offsuit. We're not playing any 7-deuce game nonsense today. King Queen of Diamonds is quite nice. We're going to take this spot. I feel like we've been getting a lot of button opens here. Albatross is thinking about it. Okay, so we got a couple folds. I'm going to follow it up with the blind versus blind raise. We get a call. We get this triple connected board. This is a board that is great for the big blind. He's going to have things like 8-5 that I'm not going to have. He's going to have things like 5-3 that I'm not going to have. And those two hands just happen to be the nuts and the second nuts. He's going to go for a small bet. If we have like double overcards with an ace here, we're peeling. It's not a big bet. You got to call wide against the small bets. But with the ace deuce, we have, I mean, obviously the worst possible ace, but even ace 3 would have a gutter. So it is just by far the worst possible ace. No suits or anything. We're just getting out of there. Scarful going for the raise. We're going to 3-bet this one. Maybe make it 8. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, no, see, my brain is not working. See, I'm used to playing like, you know, 100 NL, like, you know, 50-cent dollar blinds. And I'm like, oh, this is a 2.5x raise. No, 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 no. That was a 5x raise, guys. This guy's trying to trick me. It almost worked. Almost worked. Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky guy. I was gonna 3-bet him to like 8. That would have been insane. Is this the guy who open folded against me earlier? Because, I mean, if that's your thing, I wouldn't mind you open folding to my 7 high here. Okay, I mean, he checks back. He gives me a chance to improve my hand. He gives me a chance to like hit a 7 or an open ender or something. And I mean, we're on the lookout for good spots, but like this isn't really it. I'm just gonna check down 7 high. I mean, I think I am. His 10 high is good. Okay, Jack 10 is pretty nice. And guys, I mean, if you're playing, it's always important to take notes. So I'm going to take a note on our friend here. Said he's limping 10-4 suited on the button. And how he is checking down at 10 high. Okay, we're not playing the 7-5. We're not 3-betting our 10-9, nor calling. I literally just had this. Hold on, is it the same suits? I mean, it is. They're just swapped out here. Now, okay, so I'm in the big blind. We're getting 5-1 odds here. Gonna go ahead and click call. Out of everyone around this table, I should be the one with the most 4s. So, you know, there's potential for some aggression, but, you know, usually you want like a little piece, you know, backdoor flush draw or you know, a gutter or something. And in fact, your love in arms is going to go for the raise here. That's going to get me to fold 10 high. What's up, Run Gooder? What's up at Chili Billy Bear? Now, guys, I'm afraid to say we're a little bit card dead right now. You know, we had the 8-4. We got our 7-3 over here. We got our 9-5. The nice thing about the snap games, though, is you can just fold it and get a new hand pretty quickly. Queen 9, I'll say, is better, but not quite there. King 4 is a maybe. Depends on what our friend Huli Hod is going to be doing here. Okay, so yeah, we can go for the 2.5x raise. Alex side goes for the call. Again, these triple connected. We've been talking a lot about the low triple connected boards. The mid ones are pretty rough too. And those are just going to get king high to check fold. Free flop. That is an open ender. Yeah, sure. Let's start betting out with an open ender. FC goes for the call. We get called twice. Bluffing into 2 players on the river is grim. Especially when that 10 pairs. It means people are going to start valuing things like 8s and even 7s a little bit more than they usually would. So we go for the 1 bet on turn. We're not going for 1 on the river, and we do have this gentleman with an 8 here. He's going to take it. FC also, you know, not able to beat that 8. He had the 7. So, I mean, we're beat by both players. Then again, when you have 9 high, that's not actually hard. Let's go ahead and take a raise up against Ugla over here. All right. Went ahead and took an under the gun raise with pocket sixes. We're getting flatted by Map Party. We end up going 3-way, and that is a 6 on the flop. I mean, that is wonderful. But I feel like a broken record here. I'm just repeating myself. Guys, we got the triple connected low board. We hate these boards, so we check lot. Luckily, I'm not playing live, got a bit of a smile on my face when I say we hate this board. This specific hand likes this board. And so we're up against Mr. Matt Party, who's a little on the loose side, maybe the collie side. I like to go for check raises here quite a bit. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Nothing huge, nothing crazy, but, make it a little bit more money, an extra $26. And then, what can we do here? I mean, we could barrel again, which I think is fairly standard. We could attempt to go for like a check raise on turn. I'm not that afraid of this board where I feel like we need to get it all in immediately. 78 here on the turn for a 3/4 pot size bet seems good. And that sets us up for a real easy all in on the river. It'll be about like what, a little over 150 on the river. 155 into 260. No flushes get there. The only straight that's possible is the 5-3 suited. And I mean, if he has 5-3 suited, I'm going to have a bad time. But we're just going to go for the all in. There we go. And we get a call. He mucks his hand. And we're gonna take a nice $560 pot here. Taking a peek. Set over set. Okay, that is a little rough. Luckily, I was on the good end of it. We keep getting free flops on these tables, and I'm thrilled about it. I'd be a little bit more thrilled if I wasn't getting 8 highs and just having to check fold the flops, but I will take it. Ah, yes, the old 7 deuce. Run gooder, you're not getting KO'd in MTTs with Ace King anymore. Now it's aces 3 days in a row. I'm sorry, everyone. I have to say it at least once. Run gooder. You need to run gooder. There it is. That's it. I'm not going to say it again. That's it. Apologies to everybody watching. But, that's all that aside, guys. Let's do something fun. We just won a pretty big pot. I won like a $560 pot. So why don't we see if you guys in the chat can win, let's say 2 $22 tournament tickets? That seems like fun. And all right, so guys, type the keyword in the chat for your chance to win. The keyword is Matt Party. The name of our friend here, whose set unfortunately didn't fold. Type Matt Party in the chat to win one of two $22 tournament tickets. Meanwhile, I don't know what the heck's going on here. I raised, this guy flats, this guy squeezed, I call, this guy back raises all in, and at this point, it's only another 10 bucks to me. There's 26, 27 in the middle there. We're just going to call this all in with King Jack high. It's the aces, and that's, yeah, we're not going to win that one. All right, so if we're keeping track here, guys, I've won, you know, some $1,000 pots, some $600 pots, some $500 pots. But at this $50 table, I've lost stacks I've lost stacks against aces twice. We had my jacks into aces the first time, we had my king jack into aces this time. Which, like, if that's the way things go, I am happy continuing this trend. Run well at the high stakes, run into aces at the low ones. I will do this all day. We're going to go ahead and fold the 10-4. Hey, Rano Jono. 5-3 off is strong against aces. I should have had 5-3 off. What was I thinking playing King Jack suited? And all right, guys, the giveaway's been going for a minute or two. Lime Ricky, whenever you're ready, let us know the winners. We're going to be folding this this Jack 7 here. We're doing a little bit of folding. Is it my turn? Could it be? Yeah, I saw that one coming. Jason, good to see you, man. You just can't let me have a moment at this table. This is actually something, I feel like I haven't talked about this in a while on my stream. But usually when I play, you know, I got multiple tables going, and there always seems to be maybe, you know, a couple tables going well. And then there's one table that is just cursed. No matter what happens, that table, we lose the big pots, we lose the all-ins, we get check raised when we're bluffing, we get folds when we're value betting. This is a bit loose. We're gonna raise it though. I think this table might be cursed, guys. I can't believe you've done this. Lime, I had to. I couldn't help myself. Oh, and we got the map parties coming out in the chat. Good luck, everyone. All right, we got an ace-9 on the button. We're going to go ahead and take this raise. Not my favorite board for an ace-9, But, I'm going to start off with a small bet here. That goes against a little bit of, proper strategy right there. But just because something isn't proper strategy doesn't mean it's going to be minus EV. Similar to the way, open shoving aces for 100 big blinds. Not proper strategy. Very, very plus EV, though. Even if people fold, you win some blinds. Okay, so we got a raise and a call from Bluff No Tough and Loose Always here. I'm going to go ahead and make this, we'll say 550 in position with a King 10. We get 4-bet. Oh, I mean, that's a bit rough. Proper play is to fold. Is there any reason to not do that? I mean, this guy seems tight. That's certainly not a reason to revert course here. Yeah, get out of there. Then we have pocket fours. I mean, pocket fours are basically like half of pocket eights. So maybe we'll have some good things happening. And speaking of good things happening, guys, we have our 2 winners announced in chat here. Thank you, Lime Ricky. Thank you, Nightbot. So each winning a $22 tournament ticket. Congratulations to Ruinkind and Zep GG. This is a bit of a big bet here. I think the 4s are still going to call, but we just don't like it as much when he's going 2/3. So, the nice thing about pocket fours here, I mean, of course, they're a pair. There's like some backdoor straight opportunities. If we happen to hit a 4, we're usually having a very good day. And then he goes for the check back, and then the board runs out with a lot of 3s. So, I mean, he probably doesn't have a 3. It's very hard for me to have a 3. The question is, can I go for a value bet with my pocket fours and get called by like ace high? That's flimsy. I'm going to go for the check. I also do think like it's a pretty bad run out for me in general. A lot of my high card hands remain high card hands when the board runs out that way. And it looks like our opponent had King 10, so not even an ace high. I'm willing to bet probably would not have called if I value bet, so maybe no loss there. So guys, I got this new audio set up. We got, the new mic here. Got a nice big like boom arm here, so it's no longer on my desk, which is lovely because it actually means I can type on my keyboard without something in the way. But it is exactly positioned so I cannot see the corner of my screen where the clock is. We're going to raise some pocket 5s here. So just gotta, I don't know, gotta keep an eye on it a little bit because, we're going to go on break in a few minutes. This is, we're not doing the hard grind. We're having fun. We're relaxing here. We're going to take a check back with pocket 5s. An ace is a card that does pretty well for my check back range. Obviously does not hit the 5s in any way. Loose always decides to go for the lead, and that's going to be enough to fold my 5s. And we'll take the raise here as well. Bluff not tough in the small blind. I mean, if he raises, he's gonna get it. 9-3 offsuit is pretty rough. Ace king though. Well, we'll see what we can do. We're gonna make this $5.50 over the small button raise. Take that one down. We've still got one of these 500 tables going, by the way. I've just been a little bit card dead on it. But sitting on 2 9s here, I'm in the cutoff. So we're getting a 3-bet by I'm Dry. And we're about 120 blinds effective. Like, if it was just against this guy, I wouldn't mind calling off my 9s. But considering, you know, this guy over here, he's got an uncapped range. This isn't a 3-bet. This is a cold 4-bet. I think we actually have to ditch them here. We're going to watch this hand play out, though. It's ace-10 offsuit against the pocket jacks. The ace-10 binks twice on the flop, but the jack on the river. Oh, geez. Doge is gonna be busting here. I'm Dry, collecting a nice big pot. We're gonna move over here. This guy led into me on the flop, so, you know, he seems a little bit splashy. I raise in the cutoff, he defends in the big blind, he leads into me on this pot, or on this flop. I just called. I'm also just gonna call on turn. I think there are some things we can get value from on the river, or on the turn with a raise, but keeping, you know, kind of like a medium 2 pair in my range so I can defend well on rivers and stuff is a pretty good idea. And he led the flop with the ace-8 offsuit, pairs the turn, pairs the river. Guys, the table's cursed. There's no other explanation for this, guys. The table is just straight up cursed. But you know what? I'm not afraid. I'm going to keep playing right after this 5-minute break. Let's go sit down next BB here, guys. I'm going to pretend I'm playing tournaments. It is, you know, it's 1:55. So the plan is to sit out, take a 5-minute break. We'll all stretch our legs, grab a drink, you know, stay hydrated. And then we'll come back and play some more. Do I want to do anything with this 10-6? The answer is no. Ace-10 has some potential. And that's a top pair kicker. Guys, I did this whole, like, we're going on break speech, and now we're just still playing hands. So a player who is unknown to me leads out. It should be really hard to have 2 pair on a board like this. I'm going to go for the raise with the ace-10. Now, I'm pretty happy with ace-10. It's a fairly strong hand. It's pretty far from the nuts, though. Had he gone for like a re-raise on flop, I probably would have folded. When he goes for the just call and then leads again, I think we're just kind of shipping this in. There's a lot of rivers we don't want to see. Our hand is pretty good, and this table is obviously in no way cursed, so I'm going to win the hand. He throws in about $10 there. He's got 27 behind. Let's go ahead and ship it. The table is not cursed, so hey, I'm gonna win it. There we go. Top pair v top pair. The ace kicker plays. All right, we're getting somewhere here. We're getting somewhere, and I am immediately running off. Deal me in the big blind so I can sit out here. There we go. Okay, guys. So yeah, let's all take 5, stretch your legs, grab a drink, meet back right here for plenty more cash game fun. Be right back.
It's time for Ace State Poker Live 2026, and we're lining up a jam-packed year full of awesome events just for you. First up is Madrid, where we'll bring the poker thrill to one of Europe's most vibrant cities. Then we head to Glasgow, a city known for its heart, energy, and epic poker showdowns. Next, it's on to Barcelona, where poker meets party under the Spanish sun. Finally, we close out in London, showcasing our poker prowess in one of the most iconic cities in the world. And that's not all. The UKPL is back with 5 stops across the UK for your chance to grab even more poker action. We've also got the Noche de Poker Festival in Spain, bringing poker closer to you. It's going to be an incredible live experience unlike anything you've seen before. And stay tuned for more surprises. So whether you're a seasoned pro or new to the game, 8-Day Poker Live is your chance to be part of something unforgettable. Come along, play well, get lucky, and you could be our next 8-Day Poker Live champion. 8-Day Poker, made to play.
We can also use small straight draws, gut shots, even open enders, and blast them off of high card hands that are ahead of us. When we've defended our big blind to a raiser, we are out of position. The most common thing we're going to do is check to the raiser. Because we had a discount pre-flop, we have a wide range. They have a narrower range. On most flops, they have an advantage in strength, and they have an advantage with position. We're just going to check to them and then reassess based on what they do. When we face a c-bet, we have to first of all get rid of all of our trash hands. So if the board comes like a Jack 10-5, we know we're automatically folding pocket threes, ace deuce offsuit, 6-7 offsuit. All of those hands disappear. Then we are left with a reasonably strong range. Our second pairs, our top pair, some sets, maybe straights, depending on what the board is. And all of these hands have to go into 2 buckets, 2 strategic decisions, check raising and check calling. People often don't check raise enough, and it's really important to check raise enough, both to get full equity and to get maximum value from your strong hands. Let's say the board comes 2, 3, 4, we check, they bet. We really want to get lots of money in with like 5, 6 for the flop straight or pocket fours for a set. So we are going to check raise those hands. We can't only check raise our very strongest hands. We need to balance that with bluffs as well. Maybe a hand like King 5 offsuit for the open-ended straight draw and the overcard. When we check raise these bluffs, we can make ace highs fold, and that's great. We can even use them as multi-barrel bluffs down the streets and maybe make them fold a pair on the correct runouts as well. There are times when we don't check raise very much at all. If there's a lot of ICM considerations and we're covered, or if the flop is just particularly good for the pre-flop raiser. If the floppers came ace king 5, the pre-flop raiser has loads of top pair hands, loads of the best sets and the 2 pair hands. They have a big advantage. So we're not going to check raise very often at all here. We're going to decide on our trash and just fold it and do a lot of just check calling. If you're in the big blind and you call a raise versus an under the gun raiser and it comes ace king 5, having a donk betting strategy leading out instead of checking is not viable, not mathematically speaking. They have a really strong range on ace king 5. We have a relatively weak range on ace king 5. If we try and construct a leading range, it's going to be incredibly difficult to balance, and we're betting into a big disadvantage to their range. So it's not going to make you money in the long term. Some of the situations where we can construct a leading range is when the flop is beneficial to the big blind. Flops like 5-5 deuce. It's good for the big blind's range because when we had a discount pre-flop, we were calling hands like 5-6 offsuit, like king 5 offsuit. So we have a lot of 5s on 5-5 deuce, for example, whereas an early position raiser doesn't have very many 5s in their range. The reason we donk bet is to prevent them from checking back strong hands when we have a nut advantage. It allows us to maximize value from our strongest hands and maximize fold equity with some of our weaker hands that do have some potential to make something good on later streets. So when we've defended our big blind and it goes check check on the flop, we need to assess the turn card and if it's best for us in the big blind or if it's best for the pre-flop raiser. If we think the flop and turn are particularly good for our range, we need to construct a turn probe or a turn donking range. We can use hands like top pair, really good kicker. We can also use small straight draws, gut shots, even open enders, and blast them off of high card hands that are ahead of us. So we're maximizing our value with our best hands and maximizing our fold equity with some of our more nebulous hands that still have some improvability. So there you have it. There's some tips for how to play post-flop from the big blind. If you enjoyed this, please click like and subscribe. And if you have any questions, any comments, please leave them down below. I'll be happy to interact with you.
All right, guys, I am back. That has been an exciting first hour. I hope you're ready for more. We're playing micro stakes. We're playing some mid stakes. We've had some huge pots, some set over sets, lots of sets actually. I wish I always ran like this. We've had cursed tables. We've had big wins, big losses. Let's see what we can do. So, we're going to load this table up. I am, a little sad to announce that my 500 tables did break. So we are just playing the 50 and L snap right now, but that's okay. And we have 2 all-ins ahead of us and a deuce 3 offsuit. So I'm going to fold this, but I'm going to go fold and watch. We're going to see what these guys have. One guy had pocket nines. The other guy had pocket queens. Pocket queens just a straight gonna hold. Okay, so back to this table. Guys, we won a big pot a moment like right before the break, like last hand before the break. Nice top pair over a different top pair with a worse kicker. And I was talking about how, this table seems cursed, but then just like that, we managed to win one. So I'm thrilled. I think we should celebrate. Guys, let's do another giveaway. So I'm going to say this time, we're going to keep you on your toes, guys. This time we're doing 1 more ticket. We have 3 to give away, but we're just doing 1 right now. 1 more $22 ticket. And for this one, the keyword is going to be cursed. Good luck. Hope you're not cursed. So we just threw in a small bet there with the 8-7. We took it down. We're not defending with the 8 deuce. We're raising the jack 10. Crazy Scotsman says, teach us something invaluable. Now, I mean, Scotsman, I've told you a little bit about the curses. Frankly, if this was like an 8-hour-long stream, I could get into the whole depths of the witchcraft involved in being a poker pro. But I feel like with the time we have, I should just kind of stick to playing poker. Maybe that's something I'll do on my own stream another day. We got ourselves a check back with ace king high on everybody's favorite board. 4 to a straight, 3 to a flush, no spade in hand. We're going for the double check back. Yeah, sure. That's what this board needed. And like now we're kind of getting to a spot where if he hadn't bet into me, I'd probably just have to bet this hand. Like, I mean, I guess I have what? I have like some ace tens and some ace queens as well, but like, I mean, ace high is pretty much bottom of range there. And all right, guys, I'm going to say we're going to close the giveaway there. Good luck, everyone. Lime Ricky, whenever you're ready, let us know the winner. All right, so we got the 2 jacks. That's what you love. You love 2 jacks at the cursed table. We get the walk. You know what? I will take that. I'm happy with that. And I'm also going to add a second entry into this snap pool, just another table on the side, so we can get, maybe a few extra hands per hour. And on this new entry here, we got the ace-9 raise. That's a pretty good flop. Now, one thing I know about our friend 27 here is he's typically not that aggressive pre-flop. You know, he's done a little bit of raising. We can actually see in the built-in HUD here, he's been 3-betting 9%. I'm used to him 3-betting a little bit less than that. So I'm going to kind of happily start betting here. In fact, I could even start this with an overbet. But usually in this type of spot, you think, the guy never has ace king. The guy never has kings, you know, stuff like that. This guy might. Probably not, but he might. And then what is the one thing we don't want to see on the turn after we overbet the flop? We had this with the pocket king set earlier. We have it now. It is the flush coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and take the check back with 2 pair. And now the jack comes in. So if he has something like a queen 10, he gets there. If he has an ace jack, he gets there. Had he put in a river bet, especially like a big river bet, I might actually consider folding my ace 9. That is how rough this board is. However, he didn't. So I just get the nice little clean check back here. We're going to win against an ace queen, and that works. Ruinkind trying to win more than one. Sneaky, sneaky. Of course, guys, if you won a giveaway earlier on in this stream, I'm fairly sure you can't win another. Not today, anyways. You can come back and win more tickets on any of our other streams. But you gotta share the prizes at least a little bit today, guys. We got a 3-bet here with our king queen. And then we get this triple low board. It's not that connected. What we typically want to do on a board like this is either big bet or check. And I think I like check here with the king queen with no diamond. And then we get this more connection. Our strategy is kind of more of the same, big bets or checks. And again, we don't really love going for bets with this one. Obviously, we're happier checking things like ace highs. They have a little bit more value than the king queen. But this king queen is pretty much bottom of range. Not quite. You know, we got like some king 10s. But, you know, something like jack 10 at least has a gutter, right? I think this is just check down. This is not the run out that we're thrilled about trying to get ace highs to fold. I want him to do something because I actually have an exciting hand on the other table. Okay, he goes for the bet. I'm going to fold. Guys, I have aces. This guy 3-bet me. This guy cold called. I'm going to go ahead and make it 1450 here. And we're going to hope for an all-in. We just get the flat. Now, I was quite deep with this player here. Not so much against bluff no tough. And then we get this king high board. I am going to bet. We're going to go 1/3 here. And guys, we do have our giveaway winners. Congratulations to Scooty1. Scooty1 winning a $22 tournament ticket. We're hoping for good things here. And for everyone else, guys, remember we do have 2 more tickets to give away today. He goes for the raise, and like we expect most of his response to be raises here. So we just stick it in. He's only got like $7 behind. Pocket threes. Pocket threes. What could I say about pocket threes? It's certainly a hand. And, you know, the nice thing about bluffing pocket threes is it's essentially a semi-bluff because you got 2 outs, right? You know, it's kind of the new age semi-bluff. Open-enders with 8 outs, nah. Gut shots with 4 outs, nah. That is too much equity. That is playing the game on easy mode. We're just going to see a free flop here. You want to like really test your skills? You go for the 2 out bluffs. Let's go for this. We're also getting 4-bet after 3-betting pocket 9s here. We're going to go ahead and click a call, see a flop. Okay. There's a couple of 4s and a 3 on board. So the good news about this board is if he was 4-betting with, you know, something like an ace-queen off, something like with an ace-king, he still has just high card. So that's the good news. The bad news is my range has a very hard time with this board. I basically connect with nothing. And he has, you know, some nice big pairs in range. We're going to go for the call here. I will note he's taking a bit of a small bet. This is a board you can actually bet quite large on. And not a big fan of the queen. It's not as bad as a king or an ace. But he's still continuing to bet really small, and we have another call here. The fact that I have a pair is pretty much good enough facing this size. So we're going to go for the double call. River will be a bit of a tough spot if we face a shove, though I'll say we're probably just click and fold. And he goes for the check. And I mean, like, this is such a clean spot to just go bet, bet, bet with your ace queens, your king queens, your kings, your aces. Maybe you want to check something sometimes, you know, with the intention of like catching a missed club draw. But my play is just go for the check back. If we're going to lose here, I think most of the time we're losing against like jacks or tens. But if we're going to win, well, it's going to be against everything else. Now, see, you guys can't see my table positioning. And from your point of view, like both the tables look the same, you know, with other than, you know, stack sizes and stuff. Guess which table is the cursed one and which one isn't. Go ahead. Guess. Is it this one where I just won with pocket 9s? Or is it this one where my pocket aces got cracked by pocket 3s? Let me know what you think in chat. We do have Lime confirming you can only win 1 keyword giveaway per stream. And that makes sense, guys. You got to share the prizes. Can't hog them all. Otherwise, just Get the Monies would just win every single one. And I mean, I don't know. 888 would somehow go bankrupt. Let's... Oh, we raise this, but then get an insta-fold. I don't quite know how the math would work on that, but something tells me we can't let Get the Monies win every single one. So we got iBench going for the limp here. We got a nice pair of queens, so we're going to raise them. Foiled again. Okay, now here's the thing. This is not our favorite board for queens. However, our opponent doesn't actually have that much money in front of him. He has just 30 big blinds behind. He actually leads for 4 BBs. There's nearly $7 in the middle. He's got like 15 behind. We're just going to stick it in. I think this is a spot where, you know, stacked pot ratios work out. Our hand strength is fairly good. We're going to get called by an ace queen high sometimes, I guess. So we go for the value jam and we get it. Okay, hold on. This table, we got 67, 67. On this table, we have 69, 99. Anytime I see a stack size like this, it just makes me think like my stack is on sale. Which is like the absolute perfect segue to remind you kind folks, I'm sure you already know, I'm just reminding you that right now the 888 Poker Happy Holidays sale is going on. We have, I believe it's a full week of discounted tournaments. So, you know, you have a $55 tournament that's been discounted to, you know, 27 bucks, give or take. You got some 109s that are now 59s. You got a 320 high roller that's a 160. And the lovely thing about this is it's not just, you know, the tournament buy-in, it gets smaller. It's the tournament buy-in, it gets smaller, but the prize pool stays the same. You know, the big 10K guarantees is still a 10K guarantee, even though the prize or the buy-in has been slashed. Okay, so I've got an ace queen of hearts of my own here. We're just going to raise, take it down, though. Falcon Hoof, appreciate that, man. That was a rough one. Okay, we got the ace-4 going for the raise, blind versus blind. Scarful goes for the raise. Now, theory says I can shove this. I can shove it. I can flat it. I can 4-bet it. I'm going to go for the flat. You know, going to be a little bit timid here. But good news, we got a top pair. Got a backdoor flush draw. Got 2 backdoor straight draws. Could make an 8 high straight or a 5 high straight. And, well, that 7, I mean, it brings in something. So typically my strategy on a board like this is going to be a lot of big bets. I don't think a lot of small bets make sense because it just gives villain a very easy time. You know, if he's calling with, like, you know, kings, queens, jacks, tens, like all that stuff, big bets put him in a spot. Small bets means he just like auto calls. And I mean, getting auto called when I have a better hand is okay. But if we do that, we're just leaving our check range completely high and dry. He goes for the turnover bet, which I'll say is quite unexpected. Might be a couple hands that might want to do this, you know, 8-7 suited. Maybe he's got pocket 7s. We're going to be peeling here simply because, you know, I have an ace. You don't check an ace on the turn to fold it. And then we get this really interesting river card because a lot of the cards that I just said, you know, are really what might want to be taking this action from villain are, you know, things like 8-7, things like ace-7, things like pocket 7s. Well, those are a lot harder to have now. And he also sizes down quite a bit. He goes for the overbet on turn and then like 1/3 pot river, 1/3 pot on the river. I'm going to go ahead and call him. Guys, if he's got me, he's got me. See how top pair fares. Top pair beats 9-5 offsuit. We've also got a spot here where I've river to straight with the king 7. There's a possible flush, and he's betting reasonably big, so I'm not going to be raising. We get the jack 5 bluff. He actually raised me on turn with that jack 5. That's there's a little bit of nonsense going on in this pool. And here we got, guys, we got the $79.99. My stack is on sale again. Please don't buy it. I like my stack. So we end up going multi-way here. We got a king 10. I am going to go ahead and check this back once in a while. I did flop very well. You know, nice little top pair, a good kicker. But multi-way, it's not amazing. It's pretty good. It's not amazing. We got 27 going for the medium-sized bet on turn, against which I'll have an easy call unless we have the big blind going for the raise, at which point this is now an easy fold. I'm going to try to watch this hand play out, see if it gets to showdown, see if we can get some reads on our opponents. The 10 pairs, I mean, is that even going to be good? There's full houses possible. There's straights for these guys. I mean, we'll see. How you doing, Vic? Pocket fours. That is a flopped set. Rivered full house. The trip 10s would have been no good. And I am just going to go here and quickly check the hand history because there was a raising player. The raising player had 9-6, so just the open-ender. So we raise 8-7 in middle position here. We get 3-bet. 3-bet's pretty small and we're quite deep. We're going to be, you know, click and call, seeing a flop. And these are the type of flops that I hate, guys. I have a piece. It's a bad piece, but villain isn't betting that big. We're going to continue here. I don't think I like check raising. I get like some ace highs to fold with the check raise, but I mean, if he's got king queen, he's got king 10. If he has like ace high with the backdoor flush draw, he's not going anywhere. So we're just peeling. We pick up a bit. And then on the river, I mean, I think we have like a pretty much must bluff here. Going for a 3/4 pot bet, I think is something very reasonable you'll see out of a jack. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And we do get the fold. Lovely. I've managed to hit a good hand here. And we're going to do the silly thing here, guys. Because we want to generate as large of a pot as possible. So I'm going to bet 6 times the pot for 1875 for his full stack here. And here's the thing. When I do that, we're going to get an absolute ton of folds. But once in a while, we're going to get looked up. And those times I get looked up, we get maximum value. Now, there's also the argument, you know, I could bet smaller and get called a lot more often, and that is true. But for betting smaller to be really, really good, I need to, you know, get called by, you know, a wider range. That needs to happen. That will happen. There's no argument about that. But we also need to get raised sometimes. There has to be that possibility of, you know, all the money going in. And maybe that happens this much, but for the most part, you know, somebody goes bet on the flop, check the turn, check the river. They're not tossing in that check raise all in. I'm going to start off with a check here against Albatross. If he bets big, and I mean relative to the pot here, you know, $2 into 3, that's 2/3. I'm going to consider that one big. If he bets big, I'll go fold. It's a really nice spot for him to go small, and if he goes small, you know, something like 1/3, just like a buck there, king queen, just like double over cards, is a pretty interesting one to go for a check raise. So we've got ourselves a button open with an ace-queen offsuit. Bluff No Tough goes for this little tiny 3-bet. Ace Queen's not the worst 4-bet in the world. It's usually just a call, though, even when he goes tiny here. And then we'll see if he follows it up on this kind of mid-triple connected board. He does. He goes small. And Ace Queen is, I don't know, just like in a bit of a silly spot here. I'm fairly sure it's supposed to just call. Guys, we have, I mean, it's just the double overs. Double overs and some backdoor straight stuff. But it's good enough. He didn't actually bet that big. We get this jack on turn, which, you know, doesn't immediately improve my hand, but I do have a double gutter. I have a queen high straight if a 9 hits, and I have an ace high straight on a king. And he just keeps going, and it's a bit of a weird hand. He goes for the small bet on flop. He sizes up on turn. I think calling here is fairly standard. Bluff shove takes a lot of commitment here. An extra 37. So I'm going to go like this. Now, we've been getting into some interesting spots. People have been 3-betting me with 9-5 offsuit. If he has 9-5 offsuit, he's beating me here. And he just goes for the all-in overbet shove, and ace high cannot make this call. You know, actually it's snap, he can't show his hand, but you know, if he shows a bluff, if he could have shown a bluff, then congrats. We're going to fold the ace high. Then we get a slightly better hand. We had the ace queen. Now we have the ace king. Can we upgrade one more time to the ace ace? No. But I can go down here and 4-bet Kobe for 3 with an ace queen. I don't really know what sizing I'm supposed to be using. He made it like the $2 like mini click here. Let's make this like $8, I guess. We end up going multi-way. King high board is a board that's really good for me. So we're going to bet this one a lot. We're going to size down. We're going to go like $6 here. Zero folds. Okay. I mean, here's the thing. This guy has $7 and there's 42 in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and assume our fold equity against him is very near 0. So if I can't actually bet and take this one down, it should probably just be a check. Now, sometimes this goes check, check, and, you know, maybe we hit an offsuit jack on the river for the absolute nuts. But that's not what we're going to get. Of course, this guy calls. I don't think we... I mean, we're getting really good odds here, but I don't think we chase. We don't chase. This guy had top set. The other guy had 5 deuce, and we were not getting there. All right, so the good news is I managed to not pay off against top set. That's always the good news. Bad news is we did not win that hand. Now, what do we have going on here? We have a limp, raise, call. I'm going to call. We're going to go a little bit stronger with our squeezes. A little bit stronger than pocket sevens. Crazy Scotsman. Really appreciate that, man. Folding against the half pot bet is somewhat necessary there. We got the old 1 ace, 1 king again. We're on the button. We go for the raise. Low with a call. Magic trigger with the call. And it's what everybody wants to see with the ace king. All right, we're going to start this off with a check back. Couldn't give me the clean ace. Could you? I mean, there's no such thing as a clean ace because there's already a possible straight and possible flush. And like we just straight up fold our top pair, top kicker here because there's 4 clubs. And if we're up against one player, sure. You know, maybe he's bluffing. If we're up against 2 players, it just gets, you know, chances are one of them has us beat there. How do I keep getting these stacks? We got 59, 59. And now I've ruined it. So we go for the raise, king, queen. We have Marmite 14 going for raise. Guys, I do not know what Marmite is. I learned the word Marmite from watching Would I Lie to You? Absolutely love that show. And I mean, what I get, is it some kind of a food spread? Is that what it is? From context, that's what I think it is. But I really have no idea. Is this guy from the UK? Yeah, he is. Okay, so he goes for the check back on flop. We're going to go for a fairly big bet on turn. We're going to go for an overbet. We've got the combo draw, looking for a jack or a club or a fold. So yeah, if somebody in chat wants to tell me what the heck Marmite is, I would appreciate that. I would Google it, but then it would give me some just like AI summary, and I mean, I don't want that. Nobody wants that. So I trust the wise folks in the 888 Poker TV chat over Google's AI. So I went ahead and raised. We got magic trigger in the big blind. I got a gutter. It's not that good, but I am going to start off with a bet. We're getting called the 6 pairs. Going for a double barrel here, I think is fine. When the 6 pairs, I don't have many 6s. He has a few, so we're not going to go crazy with our sizes. He's going to go for the check min raise. You know what the check min raise is going to get me to fold my gutter. You got me, friend. We're chasing the old deuce high flush draw here. I mean, we just have the best hand sometimes. He goes for the check back. We are not beating the 5s. We end up getting in a 3-way pot here with Marmite and Low. That sounds like the name of a comedy duo, Marmite and Low. All right, queens are nice. We're a little bit deep here. What's 14 BBs? That's $7, right? That's what we want to go for. Yo, what's up, Reimer? How is the 50 snap pool today? We've seen some nonsense. That is how I will describe the day. We've seen some nonsense. So when we go for the 3-bet from the big blind, we don't actually range bet a lot of boards, and I'm not going to be range betting this board. Especially, you know, the deeper we get. I'm going to continue with checks on the turn with the pocket queens. Now, sometimes you see people go for a small bet here, like he just did. And if that's the case, I do think we are calling our queens. I think proper sizes on a board like this are more like half pot plus, more like, 2/3 type stuff. Against something like that, we would have had to fold. So, I mean, if he has something good, he is getting a few extra bucks out of me. And we'll see if he goes for the river bet. Every once in a while, they fear the flopped full house pocket aces, so they don't throw in the river bet. And he goes for a very quick check back on the river. His pocket jacks against my pocket queens, and we win it. Sweet. Now I'm going to go ahead and call a 3-bet out of position from Johnny DE. He goes half pot. I think we basically have like a fringe hand here with the ace jack of diamonds. I'm gonna go ahead and peel it. It's probably not amazing, but just, 2 over cards and a backdoor nut flush draw. I think we can work with it. And now we kind of get this interesting thing where, I mean, I have no clubs in hand, but like I'm not really gonna have bluffs that have clubs. We're gonna go for the big one, guys. I'm just gonna go double pot all in as a bluff here. I mean, my value range is gonna be like 7s and flushes, maybe some straights. Yeah, that's flimsy. Some full houses with like pocket 5s, pocket 4s, pocket deuces. So I think we get, a few big bets. Now this ace jack is none of the above, but I mean, we get to have bluffs sometimes too, and we get through. Love to see it. All right, so Marmite is great on toast with margarine and some nice strong cheese, says Lime. Mickey says it's basically yeast extract. Ron Cutter says, I thought Marmite was a rodent. I could see that, yeah. Rodent on toast is not like Vegemite. I don't even, what is Vegemite? Okay, hold on. Can I just, so, I plead to you, chat, about how, I don't know what Marmite is. Can somebody explain it to me? And I guess, Mickey Graham, does, I feel like saying it's yeast extract doesn't actually narrow it down, but I feel like that's the closest explanation I've gotten. Lime says it's good on toast. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's good on toast. In preparation for Christmas, guys, I went down to our local Polish store here, and I bought some sausage called cabanas, and it is great on toast. But I'm pretty sure Marmite isn't a sausage. So that doesn't help. And what the heck is Vegemite? It's like Vegemite, but the texture... Lime, you're killing me here. All right, you know what, guys? You know what? I'm frustrated. I'm confused, which is occasionally my natural state. But I feel like you guys are just trolling me a little bit here. So I want to take kind of, a negative feeling inside and just flip it over to a positive feeling. So let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Hold on. We got an ace queen high over here. Can we go call? Guys, I tease you with a giveaway and then I go to this nonsense. Yeah, let's go call. Just ace high. He's bluffing the 7 deuce. He hits the deuce on the river and he bets it. Oh, I mean, okay, I wasn't completely wrong there. Wasn't completely wrong. Now you got the aces. Okay, guys. So we're gonna go. We're gonna do another giveaway here. And of course, you guys already know what the keyword's gonna be, don't you? I'm sure some of you do. One sec. This is not the board we're looking for. There is now a straight on board. I'm not even playing my aces. I'm just playing the board. This guy should get to have some like really big bets here. And I mean, we're gonna call, but like he's got the 8 or a flush sometimes. Yeah, okay. All right, guys. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. That's my bad. Let's do another giveaway here. We're gonna give away 2 more $22 tournament tickets. This will be our final giveaway of the stream. And the keyword, as I'm sure some of you have guessed, is Marmite. And again, if somebody wants to explain to you what Marmite is, feel free. None of this, I don't know what the heck you guys have been throwing in chat up to this point, but I am still very much confused. We're going to go for a couple checkbacks with the Jack 7 here. Marmite and Vegemite are both produced from yeast. Okay. Oh, Farting Potato Lord says I should look on Google Images. I am so afraid. I am so afraid. I'm not going to do that. It's brown spread that tastes how it looks. It's like Nutella, but made from yeast. Okay, all right. So I feel like I have a bit of a picture of what's going on. I've got. Sure. We're a bit there. Now, I'm gonna say from the descriptions, that does not sound good. Is this something that people eat and enjoy on a regular basis? Ugla goes for a $15 4-bet. That's a bit rough. I mean, he goes to like $12 here. We're snap calling him. We're seeing a flop. When he goes to 15, I'm going to be a bit tight. I'm going to fold the King 10. I don't even know if that's correct or not, you know, based on pre-flop charts, because when was the last time you saw somebody make it 30 BB with that 4-bet? That's a big one. And all right, guys, I'm sure you've all spammed Marmite in the chat by now. Let's wrap up the giveaway. I'll say Lime, Ricky, whenever you're ready, give us our winners. Okay, guys, you can't see this. Lime is sending me a BuzzFeed article or video about Marmite. Why the hell did I bring this up? Guys, I regret everything. I'm also gonna squeeze this. The initial raiser is a little bit short. We can make it like 650 here. Yeah, that's probably fine. I regret everything. Absolutely everything. Okay, so the squeeze gets called. Ugla on the button here. Got 53 bucks in front of him. Goes for the fold. We get one of the worst boards we could get. That being said, I'm still going to start this off with a small bet. Now, sometimes I get shoved on and I have to fold, and that sucks. But King Queen really likes to see turns. We can turn over cards, we can turn open enders, we can turn gut shots, we can turn flush draws. There's so much that we could do. And this ain't it. Marmite is what happens when foreplay goes very wrong. Okay, we're going to fold this. We're going to move over to this other table where I flopped a pair plus open-ended straight flush draw. I get big bet into, and this guy goes for the call. We're going to check raise. Get shoved on. I mean, I don't know what this guy has, but like if I'm not an equity favorite here, I'm gonna be pretty mad. This guy's coming along. Let's, guys, all in. Okay, we're up against two pair, a flopped straight, and the two pair has hit the full house. Now, guys, I mean, I had the world there. Had the world, but we're not getting there. I mean, my straight outs weren't good against the king queen. We were looking for the flush or the straight flush. Oh man. That being said, I'm pretty sure I still had like decent equity. Marmite is the acid of glutamate with sodium in combination is natrium glutamate equals umami test. Doc, I don't think any of those words were English. One of them might have been misspelled toast. But that's I mean, good to see I'm not the only one losing my mind. Marmite is stronger than cement. In compression, tension, torsion, what are we talking about here? Don't try to bullshit me. I have an engineering degree. Let's raise some pocket threes. We're going to start off with the check here. Well, I have been counterfeit. I mean, it's not going to stop me from bluffing, though. We're going to go for a medium-sized bet on turn. Up against the Taxman, or that Taxman? That Axeman? I feel very differently about this player if his name is the Taxman or that Axeman. All right, guys, so it looks like we have our giveaway winners. Congratulations to Paul's and to Chili Billy Bear. Congratulations, guys. Enjoy your $22 tickets. Why is this guy going into the tank when I'm bluffing 3 high? Is that really necessary? He goes for the call. I mean, okay, there's no way that's not a fake tank, right? That's like the fakest tank, the biggest Hollywood you've ever seen. Guys, I'm playing the board. I'm not giving this guy the satisfaction. He was snapping the river. Who tanks ace high? Come on. All right, so we're getting double barreled with this queen 8. I'm going to go ahead and click call. The river is an absolutely nasty one. Some straights come in. Some 2-pair stuff. Do we fold our top pair to this? I mean, the good news is he's not overbetting. This guy, I mean, seems a little on the tight side. Yeah, you know what? We're going to fold our top pair to the triple. I mean, I blame this board. How do you bluff catch anything on Queen Jack 10? All right, we're out of there. What's up, Niveki? Listen, you know, Niveki, I know you love the blasts. I know you do. You got dreams of going pro in them. But I have multiple interests. You know, sometimes I play the blasts. Sometimes I raise up ace queens in some cash games here. Maybe sometimes I hit gut shots. We're going to go ahead and start this one off with a bet. Take it down. I mean, was that so hard? Just like a nice simple bet and win. None of this three-way all-in nonsense. So Ruinkind says it's very much an acquired taste. Most people hate it at first go. You know what? Sounds like it. Yeah. I've never seen it. I've never tasted it, but I agree. All right, we got the old 1929 green 9 blue 9 over here. Take it down. Okay, okay. A little 10-8 in the big blind. We'll see if we can do anything here. We've got the raise. We're happily defending against that. The question is, does a 3-bet come in? Is Ugla going to be getting involved? Is Sweegle? Nope. All right, we do get to make the defense. We flop a combo draw. Oh, I wish I could say I have fond memories of combo draws, but I do not. Gonna raise anyways. We're going to go to about 425 here. The double flush draw on turn. So, like, I'm going to pot this turn. But the annoying part about this, I think pot is good. But the annoying part about this is some people, they see the double flush draw and they think, you know, oh, we gotta defend, we gotta protect our hand from all the draws. And then they just shove a whole bunch. That is beautiful. It's the second nuts, but it is beautiful. All the flush draws missed. We block some of his folds by having the 10 of diamonds and the 8 of diamonds here. So, like, I'm just going to shove it. He's going to snap call me. Like, he's going to have top set. I'm going to win. It's going to be glorious. Oh, big guns. Don't disappoint me. There we go. Okay, so we double up. What did we stack? Queen 8. Okay, not quite. Not quite top set. Top pair. And he had a straight blocker with that 8. If that's not a snap call, I don't know what is. Guys, we have had a swingy session in this this 50 snap pool. We're going for the raise with pocket sixes. I'm a smarty pants. Sometimes. And Parabellum says hides it well. Lime, am I allowed to time people out in the chat? Am I allowed to ban people? What's the etiquette there as the host? This big gun's gonna jam on me. Don't do it. Don't do it. Let's just have a family pot. We go call 6-way pot with pocket sixes. I mean, he's thinking about it. He is thinking very, very long and hard about it. And he folds. My dream of a 6-way pot with pocket sixes has been crushed. But he raises to 666. All right, guys, you know what? We're roughly at the top of the hour here. This is going to be my last hand. And I'm going to raise this to 6666. We're going all in on this meme right here. Well, what you got, El Busto? I mean, there's also 3 other players involved in the pot, but surely they're just going to fold. Oh, the 6 on the river one time. Oh. Oh, guys, I'm sorry. That was just too good to pass up. It really was. So, okay, I am going to sit out there. That is the final hand of this stream. I am going to, you know, shut this down, go lose my mind about whatever the heck Marmite is. Oh, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. We had like a little bit of everything, lots of swings, some more questionable than others. We played some 50 NL, we played some 500 NL. I know, like, on my stream, I usually like to do results at the end. I'll see if I can get a guesstimate of results for us. Now, the good news is I did really well at 500 today. Maybe not so much at 50, but I believe we made about $900 today. Which, if you just tuned into the end of that stream, might seem wild. But if you did, just go back and watch the beginning. It's fun. It's a good time. So, right, guys. Yes, that's going to be it for me. If you're not already following this channel, make sure to follow it, guys. I'm assuming there's nothing here tomorrow, but, you know, we're going to be back on Monday. We got Magic Monday. We got, you know, home games coming up on Tuesday. Am I hosting the next home game, actually? I believe I am. Yeah, guys, I'm going to be here on Tuesday. And then, of course, you know, we get into the holidays, so the schedule might get a little bit scarce. Not entirely sure about that, but, you know, I'm sure the folks at 888 will do a great job at keeping you up to date. If you enjoyed my content, guys, feel free to follow me on Twitch. I'm twitch.tv/KomodoDragonJesus. And that's it. Guys, it's been fun. Have a wonderful day. I'm out of here.